Stories from the life and times of Salahudin Ayubi. Author Inayatullah Altamash. Translator Haider Mushtaq. At the time of Salahudin's arrival into Egypt, a very important commander by the name of Naji is worth mentioning. Salahuddin scrutinized everyone from head to toe. There was a smile on his lips, and his tongue was sweet and loving. There were some old officers who looked at Salahuddin with envy. They only knew Salahuddin by his name or knew that he belonged to a family of rulers and that he is very loyal to his paternal uncle. They also knew about the relationship that he had with Nuruddin Zangi. In their eyes, Salahuddin's importance was only because of his family or for the fact that he had come to Egypt as a viceroy. Other than this, Salahuddin was nothing to them. One old officer whispered into the ear of the officer standing next to him. "He is just a child. We will tame him." As Salahuddin reached the end of his welcoming party, he stopped next to Naji, who was waiting to greet him. Salahuddin wanted to shake his hand, but Naji, who was of his father's age, like all the royal flatterers, bent down to show his respects, after which he hugged Salahuddin and kissed his forehead and said, "The last drop of my blood will be spilled to protect you, Majesty. You have been entrusted to me by Zangi and Shirku. My life is not more important than the glory of Islam," Salahuddin said, after he kissed Naji's hand. "Respected sir, save each and every drop of your blood. The Christians are spreading like a dark storm." Naji just smiled as if Salahuddin had told him a joke. Salahuddin was unable to comprehend the smile of this experienced commander. Naji was a loyal commander of the Fatimid Caliphate. He was the commander of the elite bodyguards of Egypt. Under his command were 50,000 men, and all of them Sudanese. This army was well equipped with the latest weapons of that time. They were loyal to Naji and had become his weapon, with the help of which he had become an uncrowned king. In this time, betrayals were common and personal well-beings and gains used to be the law of the land. The Islamic world was at its all-time low, its importance of no value to the ruling elite. The Christians had also started to plot and plan against the Islamic world. It was a time where those in power used to live very luxurious lives. Anyone with a little power used to use it to claim the throne or to procure wealth. The commander of the Sudanese army, Naji, was feared by the rulers and leaders of Egypt. God had gifted him with a mischievous mind. He was referred to as the appointerer of kings. He was very good at making or breaking rulers. As he saw Salahuddin, a smile came onto his face, just as when a wolf looks at a weak sheep and shows its teeth. Ayubi was unable to understand this venomous man. For him, Naji was the most important person, as he was commanding 50,000 elite bodyguards, and Salahuddin was in need of this army. It was said to Salahuddin that he had come from a long journey and that he should first rest himself. To this, Salahuddin said, "The responsibilities that have been placed on my head I was not worthy of. These responsibilities have stolen my rest and my sleep. Now, will you kind gentlemen not take me under the roof in which my duties are waiting for me?" "Won't His Majesty care to eat before work?" asked one of his envoy. Salahuddin thought for a moment and then went with them. There were two powerfully built national bodyguards standing at watch outside this building, in which the food arrangements were made. As Salahuddin saw the powerful build and the latest military equipment in the hands of these guards, a pleasant joy came over his face. which soon evaporated as soon as he stepped into the room through the door. There in front of him stood four young girls with gorgeous elastic bodies and with their beautifully scattered silky hair, which were testament to these natural beauties. In their hands, they each carried bucket full of flower petals. They started to spread the petals at Salahuddin's feet. The beat of drums filled the room as it played the national rhythm. Salahuddin, seeing the flower petals in his way, took a step back. Naji and his envoy was on either side of him. Both of them bent down and urged Salahuddin to move forward. This was the same tradition that was followed in the Mughal courts of Hindustan. Salahudin Ayubi is not here to crush flower petals under his feet, Salahuddin said with a smile, the likes of which they had scarcely if ever witnessed on someone's lips. We can even snatch the stars from the skies and place them at His Majesty's feet, Najee said. If you really want to place something at my feet, then there is only one thing that is very dear to my heart, said Salahuddin. Command us, Najee said. What is that so dear to His Majesty's heart? Dead bodies of the Christian soldiers, Salahuddin said with a smile which instantly vanished. There was fire in his eyes, he said in a light tone in which was hatred and vengeance hidden. The lives of Muslims is not a bed of roses. Don't you know that the Christians are eating the Islamic world like a cat eats mice? And do you know why are they so successful? Only because we have started to walk over flower petals. We have stripped away the clothes of our daughters and have dishonored them. My eyes are locked on Palestine. And by spreading flower petals at my feet, do you want to take off the Islamic flag from Egypt too? He gave everyone a stare and then roared, Pick up these flower petals from my path. If I would step on them, then my soul would scream in pain. Remove these girls from my way, for I fear that my sword might become useless after it gets tangled in their beautiful hair. Whatever His Royal Majesty commands. Don't use such titles for me. Salahuddin scolded the person who spoke in such a way as if he had slit the throat of some kafir. Then he continued, The only person worthy of such titles is the one whose name you take when you recite the kalima, and I am his servant and slave. May my life be sacrificed for His Holiness, whose sacred message I have preserved in my heart. I have come here to Egypt bringing this very message. The people of the cross want to snatch this message from me and to throw it in the Roman Sea. They want me to drown in alcohol. I did not come here as a king. The girls had gathered all the petals and had got out of the way as they were commanded. Salahuddin quickly entered the room. The room was very large. There was a long table kept in the room on which colorful flower petals were spread. In between were roasted lamb and mutton steaks, chicken stew, and a very large variety of other dishes, beautifully decorated. Salahuddin stopped and asked his envoy, Does every man in Egypt get to eat food like this? No, Majesty, his envoy answered. Poor people of the land can't even dream of such food. Which society do you all belong to? Asked Salahuddin Ayubi. Do these people who can't even dream of such a food belong to a different society? When he didn't get any answer, he continued. Call all these servants that are here and all the soldiers that are on duty and feed this food to them. He picked up some food from the table and quickly ate without sitting down. Then, accompanying Naji, the commanding officer, he went to the room which would soon be his office. Naji came out after 2 long hours. He ran and mounted his horse. Kicking the horse, he went out of view. At night, In Naji's special quarters, two of his loyal commanders that were also his confidants were sitting next to him, sipping wine. Naji said to them, "It is but fervour of the youth. I will make it calm in a few days. That idiot, whatever he says that I swear to the Lord of the Kaaba. I will only rest when I kick these people of the cross out of the Islamic holy lands."